Hello everyone, welcome to another week of the Confidence Connection show. I am here live with a beautiful Maike who's up very early this morning over in Western Australia. So thank you so much for joining us and taking the time to get up early and join us. So she is originally from Brisbane. She brings more than 10 years of operations and management experience. Her expertise lies in maximising efficiency, strategic business planning and development, human resource management and stimulating growth through collaborative effort, which is pretty impressive. Maike gained experience working in the manufacturing, international trade and legal industries in both the UK and Australia, providing general management and operations and trade operations support, which is pretty impressive. She's been working with the law firm since 2019 and is committed to maintaining Leach Legal's core values, connection, owning it, respect and excellence, playing a key role in preserving a strong firm culture and business to help service valued Leach Legal clients. She applies a direct, cutting-edge approach, promoting collaborative thinking within the Leach Legal team, designing and implementing business operations, establishing policies that promote the company vision, using strong communication skills and applying a progressive, open, adaptable perspective to assist the company's growth. Which is pretty impressive. So welcome, Maike.
You have done your research, my word.
Yes. So would you like to introduce yourself a bit further in your background and how you came to be working with Leach Legal?
Sure. Well, I grew up in a country town in Queensland. So I went to school, to primary school with just one other student in my class in total. So very small beginnings. I guess my father's an entrepreneur, but he would call himself a farmer. And my mum is a domestic engineer. So that's what we call her. She's pretty
a great title.
Yeah, she's probably the strongest woman I know. And I'm so lucky to have them. And I've got two older brothers. We're all very, very close. And as you said, I've lived in Singapore and the UK and all around Queensland. I'm now in Perth, but yeah, I'm managing a law firm and we're expanding nationally. So I'm really, really looking forward to the next chapter, which will be in Victoria. So that's where I'm at the moment.
That is so exciting.
Yeah.
I guess you're not in a rush at the moment to get to Victoria.
No, well, yeah, I'm itching to get set up and settled, but I'm not quite sure about the COVID situation over there.
Yeah. And what makes you want to move to Victoria, to Melbourne next?
So it's a little bit bigger, and having lived in the UK and Singapore and the big cities, living in Perth now, it's very small. But also, the opportunity to grow our company at such a young age. I've been given a lot of responsibility and I'm pretty excited to just get my teeth sunk into that.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Coming from New Zealand, I think Perth is a similar size to Auckland, which is our biggest city. I love that. In Australia.
Is it?
I think it's like 1.5 million in Auckland. How many? It's about that in Perth.
Yeah, I think there are 2 million people in all of Western Australia, and that's really odd because it's the largest state, but yeah, very spread out and quite small. The cities are quite small. Country town.
Yeah, and that's so interesting what you said about growing. Like I grew up in a small country school. Like there was 50 people when I started school and 100 when I left, so I thought that was small.
Wow.
But
yes,
just 2 people, and that's crazy.
Yeah.
How was that, and how do you think that helped you in life or hindered you in life? Like, how do you think that experience?
Well, I think it taught me definitely not to burn bridges, because there was only one other guy in my class. The school, by the end of that period that I left, so I left in grade 5, and I think there were 60 children that attended that primary school, but only one other that was in my class. So, everyone, and it was a boy too, and so everyone just said, "Oh, you guys are together," and he was just my best mate. But I guess it taught me to to get along with everybody.
I'm the same. I'm very much the same coming from. I think there were about usually 18 in my class, but they would group 3 year groups into one classroom. Like if it was just my year group,
Yes.
I probably would have been in a similar situation. There were times where there were only like 4 or 5 people in my year, but
so you had a composite class with many grades in one
because we were so small. So I don't think they'd fund a class of just 2 children, so they'd group multiple years together, which is great because you could help one another across different years, and you did have a bigger group, and it's all good.
Bronte, I believe they call that character building.
Yes, very much. So you've studied 3 different things before you found the path of law. What would you say to people who know that they want to change in career but are too scared to try something different, or and psychology and business as well?
Well, look, I think that everybody has their own struggles and fears. I mean, it's not always easy to find something that you're good at or even enjoy, but whichever path you take, it's going to be hard. So I guess choose your hard. Continuing in a job that you want to leave is actually quite hard, and pursuing a new role is hard. Both are going to have potential to fail. So I guess I could say to anybody that's scared of trying something new is that I have learnt that knowing exactly what I don't want is just as valuable as knowing what I do want. So, that's only because I've continuously pushed those boundaries and tried new things and, gone from psychology to business to law and finally finished in law. So be brave. Be brave, be courageous. Don't be scared of someone rejecting you or you failing. Just get in there and dive in head first. Life's meant for living.
Yeah, definitely. And I think too that in 30 years time you'll either be in that old career that you still hate, or you could be in the new career that you might love. So
that is exactly right. And you're never going to know if you don't do it, if you don't step outside of that safety net. And people's opinions of you, it's just theirs. That's all it is. It's their own opinions, and it doesn't matter because they're going to see you as failing if they want to. So just try to eliminate that and back yourself.
Yeah. And so you've done psychology and law. So how do you think that's helped or hindered you? Like, do you use any of the skills you learned through doing that in your law firm now?
Well, I think so. I guess so. So applying those learnings to my current role, it's probably actually very relevant. So the psych part of it, part of my duty is to work to manage people, so human resources, and now on a national scale, which is so exciting. But another part of my duty is to strategize and grow the business. So that's where the business side comes in handy too. And I didn't finish those degrees, but you pick up the fundamental values that they teach you, and it is. I mean, education is powerful. I think information, or at least knowing where to find it, that is really important. And I think it helps you problem solve later on, and it really it helps you make the choices or make the hard decisions.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
And so you're also building an app that you're currently creating. So how do you juggle doing that, with working full time? And do you want to tell us more about the app that you're creating?
Yeah, well, it's pretty close to my heart because I haven't released it yet, so it's on the DL. So I can't give away too much, but my app is called Dr. Snap. So when it finally releases, my vision is to connect medical professionals with patients and hopefully save lives globally, which that's my goal. That's my passion. The progress, I guess, is what you're asking about, has been...
Yeah, like how do you juggle, working on something on the side along with working full time?
It's been quite limited. So it's been over a few years now. But because of my work hours, sometimes I work 60 hours a week, 60 or 70 hours a week. And it sort of leaves me little time for personal life and other goals. But my view is that if you prioritize something and action a piece of it every single day, you'll continue to advance. So it's about that. It's about being committed to it. It's about what you do every day and what you value, and it all adds up cumulatively. So if you aren't committed to something, it's never going to work. You need to consciously say it out loud. Sometimes I say it out loud to myself. I know that sounds a bit funny, but I say it out loud and I write it down, and I'm committed to this and I choose this every day. So that helps me achieve those goals little by little. But we get there.
What you choose every day to work on. And so so if you're working long 60-hour weeks, how do you juggle, taking care of yourself and taking time for yourself?
Well, I guess that's the challenge, isn't it? It's sort of you can burn out quite easily. And I'm a kind of person that has just always been go, 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 go. And I guess, that's probably one of how do I manage looking after myself? I think I put time aside. So I'll try to put at least 5 hours aside every week to just do something by myself and have my alone time and not be around anybody. I've recently started trying to exercise because I haven't exercised for about 10 years, which I know is terrible, but just putting the time aside for yourself. And again, you've got to be committed to that. So, but it has been a challenge, Bronte, I guess. And, I think any successful person can probably relate to it. It can be really lonely and it can be really stressful on your personal relationships when you don't have a lot of time. Because you're dealing with so many rejections in your work and professional life that you don't talk about. And then to get to where you are, and then you deal with people trying to bring you down, and that's challenging. And it takes a lot of emotional and mental capacity to overcome. So that constant push. So even I know that being in a relationship, by the time that I get home, I just don't have a lot of juice. I don't have a lot of juice left. So at times that can make you feel like you're failing your partner and have a really negative impact on you. So that's something that I have struggled with. But I think it's about self-reflection and just being committed to making that time, because otherwise everything else is going to fall apart.
That's so true. And do you do anything to work on your mindset or your mental health to keep you in a positive space? You're not.
Well, I listen to podcasts and Audible books every single morning when I wake up. It sort of sets me up for the day, it gets me into gear. Even this morning, I've been listening to the 5 a.m. Club, that book, and it's 5 a.m. over here. So, it must have this subliminal message, but it does. It helps you. You're learning, and I think keeping that open mind and being hungry to learn, or just putting yourself, positioning yourself in an environment that you are continuously learning, it helps you feel that you're progressing every single day. And that's a really, really positive, powerful thing, I think.
Yeah, sure is. So what's been your biggest struggle, obstacle that you've had to overcome in your career or life so far? And intertwine.
Well, again, it's probably something of a personal nature. I think it's probably been overcoming where you've come from. I'm not sure if you understand that, but for me, whether you're, poor and you feel like you've never fit into your professional career because, you haven't got that Ivy League school education or finesse, or whether it's because you're rich and you've always struggled to break free of that stigma that, people believe that you haven't had to work a day in your life. Either way, whether it's because of the way you look and people always thinking, oh, you've not got a brain or whatever it is. I think I've really struggled to separate myself. But in the end, when you sit down and you think about it, you think and you look back and you think, whether you are poor and then you attain that Ivy League school education and finesse, then you've got it, you still look back and you're still where you came from.
Yeah.
You can't change your history. You've just got to accept it. So I think it's just having that wider perspective that everybody has their story and everybody has their thing, and moving forward. Sorry. So I guess mastering your mind and
that's so true.
Yeah.
And what would be your biggest win or success so far then?
The biggest win or success? Well, I mean, doing what I do, I'm so happy because I've got a lot of autonomy and I can keep going. And I mean, that's a success to me, is being given that autonomy to progress and to keep going and do what I want with company. But again, it's probably of a personal nature. The biggest success has probably been learning the art of resilience.
I love that.
Yeah, because I think it's a choice. I think that you have to consciously make that choice every single day. And you have to make that. You have to be strong. You have to choose to just keep getting back up. And that is the only reason that I'm in this position now, is because I look at these failures of mine, which I make all the time, and I just try to take the opportunity from them. And I think if you don't, there are so many hardships in life. It's the way that you look at it. And turning my failures into an opportunity has been something that I've learned, and you can learn how to do it. So you've just got to look for them. So be brave and look for it. And I'm proud of that. So I'm proud that it's something I have learned and I keep doing with all the setbacks. Yeah.
I think it's so important too that, you measure your success internally, not externally. I love that you did say something, internal success. You're not measuring yourself on all the accolades and business success and stuff. That's so important too. Which people don't often realize. Like, they could easily list up, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this, but it's like, it's all what happens on the inside is the most important.
That's right. And I think if you measure it against yourself, you then have the opportunity to keep measuring against yourself, because the better you get, the better you become. So, if you want to be better than you were yesterday, you go, okay, well, I did such a great thing today, XYZ, and tomorrow I'm going to do, even more. And you can't really do that if you're measuring against somebody else, because it's their standard, not yours.
Exactly. You are your only competition.
Yeah. For sure.
What would you say, what does confidence mean to you? What does it mean to you to be confident?
Being confident, I think it's being brave enough to make mistakes, I guess, and self-aware enough to choose to learn from them. Yeah. I think it's really hard to articulate, actually. It's being content with your ability, and knowing that in each moment that you move forward, because if you're not content with that, then the smallest little stone that's thrown your way will unsettle you.
Yeah, you are enough wherever you are.
Yeah, that's right. And you're on your own time.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So do you have, like you said, podcasts, or what's your favorite podcasts or books that you like listening to around those sorts of topics? Like you mentioned, the 5 a.m. club.
Yeah, the 5 a.m. club.
Yeah.
Another one, it's a classic, that one, How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Yeah.
And the other one, it's more of a business one, The Richest Man in Babylon, if you've heard of that one. But I really enjoy
it, but I haven't read it.
Oh, you've got to read it. It's really good for it's good for its financial resources, but I like a variety of things. I think it's really important to keep it fresh with a variety because you can then learn a different skill set with each book, you're not restricted.
Yeah, I like to balance mine out. I usually go for like a really deep, heavy, powerful book, and then I'll balance it with like a really light book next, and flip between mindset and business. And there's lots of.
What are you reading?
I am reading. I've just finished The Power of Now, which was a mindset book, which is about bringing yourself into the present. And I am. Oh my gosh, what is it called? I'm reading it, and I can't remember what it's called.
I know. That's all right. I totally understand that.
But it's a great book. It's a real light book.
You'll have to email me the details.
Go get it, I think. Yeah, it's great.
Go there.
Go getter.
Oh, go getter. Okay, that sounds inspiring. I'll check it out.
And it's a real light book, but it's about like female leadership in the business, and lots. It's just like each page. It's a good book because you can read it just page by page. Like there's some books where you feel like you have to read the entire chapter at once.
Yes.
This one's kind of like there's a couple of pages per topic, so it's really easy. I can just pick it up, read it for 5 minutes, put it back down, come back to it later. So
I will check it out.
Yeah, I'll send you the link for that one. So do you have any favorite people you like to follow? Any influential people that inspire you when you open your social media feeds?
Oh, I don't actually follow. Don't tell anyone. I don't follow any celebrities or really well-known inspirational people, to be honest. I think that I probably find my inspiration from people around me. That sounds really cliche, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, that's cool.
But my colleagues and my friends and people that you meet on the street, everybody has their own story. And I think if you take that time to engage with them, unexpectedly, you'll be paid in dividends with knowledge and connection. And you learn something from them. You learn something from everybody, even a homeless man on the street, even if it's maybe what not to do, to have being in that situation, I think just opening your mind to learning from every single person and not pigeonholing anybody is really important.
So true. And so how do you help people build their confidence, whether it be at work or in personal life, or how do you spread confidence?
At work, I try to encourage self-reflection a lot of the time. I find that people can answer their own questions or at least come to a final conclusion or a way to move forward by themselves. And it's just asking the right questions. So whether they be personal or professional, and then once they get to that conclusion, they've achieved something and they feel more confident moving forward. So it's encouraging them to get to where they need to be using what tools they've already got. It's just highlighting those tools, I guess, that they've already got. Yeah.
Everyone has the power, the tools within them. They just need to
so that's right. Sometimes they just need a bit of help articulating it.
Yeah, definitely. And so what advice would you give to someone that's wanting to build their confidence and wanting to step outside their comfort zone? They just don't know go about it.
That's really hard. I feel very worldly when you ask for my advice. I guess what advice? What have I done? So I've surrounded myself with people that I can trust, and I practice failing every single day. So I'm not afraid of it. I get right up in there and I look forward to it now.
Yeah.
So I guess surround yourself with people that you can trust and start practicing failing.
I love it. That's so powerful. So it's great advice to give people. Practice failing and looking forward to it, because the sooner you fail, the closer the sooner you can learn the lesson that will get you closer to where you need to be.
That's right. And don't be afraid of it. It's such wasted energy, because it's hard either way. Either choice you make is always hard. Just choose your hard.
Exactly. Definitely. And where can people find you and connect with you, whether it be personally or on, in a business sense, if they want to find out more about what you're doing?
Yeah, I would love people to connect with me, especially on a business sense. I'm on LinkedIn. So I think my handle is Maike-Barton. So www.linkedin.com, and then the slash thing /Maike-Barton, or on Instagram on a more personal level, Maike Snaps.
Easy one. And what's the best advice you've been given, or a favorite quote that you live by?
Some of these questions are really hard, Bronte. It's hard
I gave
to
them to you last week.
I know, and I'm going, I should have written this down. So I think it's hard to just pick one, because of the people that you surround yourself with. There's pockets of information and advice that they give you every day, but I guess it would have to be from my dad, the advice that, from my father. It reaffirms my belief in myself when things are hard, when I'm not feeling confident, or when I fail, and whether it be starting a new job, or, starting a new relationship, or ending a new relationship, stepping out of my comfort zone, whatever it is. He just put the question to me one day. I think I was going through whatever it was. And he said, why are you afraid, when you have proven that you can step into the unknown and succeed? And I ask myself that every single time I'm going through something tough. And I just say, why are you afraid? And he did follow that up with a bit of, you've done this before in so many ways. This time you'll do it better. So it's that reinforcement. And I'm really, really lucky to have him and my family behind me all the time. But if you can apply it to every part of your life, I think, if you just ask yourself, if you're going to do something and you feel a bit hesitant or it doesn't feel right, you just say, why are you afraid? Ask yourself that.
That's so good. And I love that you obviously grew up with a supportive family, which is awesome. Especially when you did grow, in the small towns and stuff. That's very important. There's no time to be hiding back when you're in the small country areas. So that's so awesome. Well, thank you for talking today. Is there any final advice or anything that you haven't shared that you wanted to share before we go?
Oh, no, thank you for having me, Bronte. I've enjoyed myself today. You've definitely quizzed me. I mean, I would say to those people out there, because I know that there are people that are wanting change and aren't as confident in their own ability. I just want to say, don't talk yourself into being defined by your mistakes, and don't let them rule you. Your energy spent on those mistakes is wasted. And if I could go back in time, I would probably save a lot of time by not dwelling on them. And just like I said before, every path you choose is going to be hard. So choose your hard. And
that is the message of the day. Choose your hard.
Choose your hard. Yeah. Back yourself, because nobody else will.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I know it's very early for you, and I just appreciate it so much. But you're a 5 a.m. You're a 5 a.m. club, so that's great. I didn't get you up to. That's so cool. Well, thank you, everyone who's been tuning in and watching, and I'll see you all next week. So,
thanks, Bronte. Bye.